those last precious moments as these three, Rudy, Nova, and Miss B, spend their last days in Loveland, getting ready to move over to Disneyland, where a lot more excitement and area is going to begin. They can develop a lot faster, and of course start learning about other monkeys and things around, especially the bandits that come and visit, just preparing all of these little ones for their migration to meet foster moms shortly. Mrs. B is doing extremely well, probably going to be the first one with Nova, so we're certainly going to see how it goes.
Babies are all playing on the feeding cage. It's a nice hot day in South Africa.
So of course everybody's finding their feet and working their way around, and that's of course Miss B and Nova not hanging on too well, or trying to hang on to each other and just fallen off the feeding cage. So sometimes that's just how it goes, but as I say, they can this is how they learn about things going on. We've got little Rudy probably sitting on the top here wondering what the heck's going on and what they've just done, but all of them are getting a good chance to develop very nicely, playing around and getting used to the feeding cage, which is a very important aspect, and they seem fairly comfortable on top of it. I hope they're going to be comfortable inside of it, which of course is the next step. You can also see they're a little bit clingy to each other as well, which is also a little bit of a setback, because if we put both of them now in with the foster mom, of course they won't be interested in clinging onto the foster mom, so it will be one of the reasons why we have to separate them and let one of them go at a time. Miss B, Rudy, and Nova doing a little bit of exploring. So we especially put these branches in for them to clamber and climb around on, just so that they can get their little feet and everything used to everything, because of course they naturally out in the bushes and trees with their moms most of the time. So it's very important for their little feet and hands basically to get used to wrapping around branches and holding on. And of course, even with them falling and things like this, becomes like an important aspect in their little lives. So the nice thing is that just sitting here and spending time with them and seeing how they discover everything, because this is of course a big discovery period in their lives. And of course, I think the best part of any baby season is being able to sit here and spend time with these little ones and just seeing how they explore and find new things and how actually inquisitive they actually are. Of course, it also helps having the other little ones around, so they do encourage each other. So it's just the same as it would actually be out in the troop. Normally all the moms have little ones all at the same time, and of course these little ones will grow up and create relationships between each other and explore together. So at least the same kind of thing is happening here. Some of them are a little bit braver. Also just remember you've got an age difference between them. So little Rudy is a little bit younger. Miss B is developing a lot faster. So it does make a whole lot of difference in how they are able to climb and get around the place. So we do have to watch them and be careful. But sometimes I think we're a little bit overcautious, which is probably not a bad thing. But if you compare them to the moms in the wild troop, they're not as forgiving as what we really are.
You got a leaf? Thank you. Hey.
It's also quite nice watching how they feed and what different things that they each find more palatable than the others. Like little Rudy really going and enjoying the apples and not really trying anything else. Just like a little fussy kid in a way, I suppose, where some of the others seem to enjoy and try and taste every little thing that's out there.
We're doing some climbing in Disneyland while Miss B is in the intro cage getting ready to go to Coco Troop. But these two are still climbing around Disneyland. Soon we'll be ready for an intro cage ourselves. You're okay.
So Rudy and Nova having the opportunity to explore on their own and finding out where everything is. Little Miss B, of course, is getting her chance to see if we can find the foster mom or get used to being with the foster moms and seeing how it goes there. She was one of those that they all like clinging to, so it just made sense to take her a little bit out of the picture to see how these two are getting on. But as you can see, they're doing fine, starting to explore and have a look at the environment. And you can see the difference from when they were a couple of weeks ago. They weren't actually looking out in front of them to now you can see they sort of stare out in the distance and see other things going on. So development is happening very fast and very, very quickly. So Miss B on her way to an intro cage. She's basically 5 weeks old now, so getting close to that point where she should be finding a mom. Probably from the age of 6 weeks is a good time for them to be introduced to their mother. So basically she'll spend small periods of time now having a look around and seeing all of the other monkeys, and then basically go back in the evenings or afternoons to meet the other monkeys and sleep inside.
So it's really exciting because Miss B will be the first baby to meet a foster mum this year, after coming in 2 weeks ago, and obviously her mum being killed by a bullet. So it'll be really nice to obviously get her integrated. Coco had 4 babies last year, Atlas, Ricardo, Yoda and Samba, which means that she'll have 4 big brothers, and then also Taro was in the year before. So she's got lots of big brothers to look after her. So we've just set up the area.
Well, Miss B's now in the intro cage, and you can see there's a little already shown some interest from the moms in the enclosure. So we'll see how this goes. Just got to let little Miss B out and see how she reacts with everybody else. There's a lot more little monkeys coming over, so that's always a really good sign. They're also very interested, also very exciting for everybody here because this is the first one of the season. So we're really hoping things go down very, very well. But it certainly does look like the moms are eager to get their hands on a little one, and all coming to have a look around and basically see what's happening. So unfortunately, because of a little bit of the age difference, the other ones are about 2 weeks younger than Miss B, we couldn't integrate them all at the same time, but also because they were very clingy onto each other, so it makes a little bit more sense to get little Miss B out here first.
We are just at Coco intro cage with Miss B. Miss B is saying hello to some monkeys at the fence. So we have Panicure, Samba, we do have Atlas, Ricardo and Yoda. and then some other females here as well.
Sometimes it's just kind of amazing to see how the troop behaves and how they also all come around just to see who the new little one is and sort of introduce themselves. Very, very inquisitive. And this also helps just break down those little barriers that she gets used to them kind of quickly, and hopefully we'll start seeing a little bit of interaction. So the same must be already 5 weeks old, 6 weeks she should be introduced to mom, so it's very important that we try and get her going as soon as possible. She's still got quite a bit of learning on the feeding cage, which hopefully she'll start picking up very shortly. Of course, making sure the little ones are comfortable in the feeding cage is extremely important, and so every now and again the food is also put in there for them to eat, so they feel safe and comfortable and aren't scared of going inside a small little area.
Miss B is just sat at the fence eating her afternoon food plate. I believe this is Carla, one of the younger mums. Just come by to
Carla
say
arrived
hello.
in 2020 and was fostered by a female called Luca.
Miss B's doing much better with her drinking today, which is great. We'd really like to get her with a mum as soon as possible, but she hasn't been drinking all that well recently, but she's now kind of drinking no longer in a burrito, so in lots of blankets. So we're hoping that we can get her on the feeding cage soon, and that feeding cage is the last kind of step before she can meet a mum, so we're hoping that she gets the hang of that pretty quickly. And then we're really excited to introduce her to one of the mums that we've got here. We've got plenty of good mums in Coco, so there is, I think, 5 or 6 mums at least to choose from. So I guess it depends on what happens on the day, but I'm sure Mark might have some more information on who might be the best one to pick as the mum for little Miss B. Miss B is growing in confidence. She sat all the way up at the fence with the food bowl, eating some banana. This is really great to see that she's gaining confidence. and becoming a bit more adventurous in the intra-cage, and she does tend to just want cuddles a lot, especially as the other babies, Nova and Rudy, aren't in with her, as they are a bit younger, so they will be going to Goliath. See how she reacts with the monkey at the fence. We have Atlas. Oh.
So little Atlas was an orphan from 2023, looked after by Yelena. So hopefully they'll do very well together, be one that's looking forward to a new playmate or somebody to pick on for this season.
Very good from Miss B. Very, very proud of her.
Of course, these are all those little exciting moments that we all look forward to, the little ones going inside the feeding cages on their own and finding the little milk bottle, which is so important to their integration. And it's just so nice that they become so confident with actually doing it.
Oh, hi, Mum.
Of course, getting a lot more confident and climbing higher and exploring the actual cage, which is good. Hasn't got much time left, about a week before we really want to bring a mom in. So it is nice that she's actually climbing around and exploring and going to different areas of the cage at the moment. Back to our little ones in Disneyland, and of course weighing is one of the essential things so that we know that they are getting enough food and sustenance. So this is actually done on a daily basis when they're so small, just to make sure that they are getting the milk and the feed that everyone's giving them.
B has rejoined Disneyland for the afternoon. Mark is doing the foster mum presentation in the games room today at 1, which means that we want as many people to see it as possible. So all of the babies have come back. They're all climbing. Miss B is pooping. And it's really nice to see them not clinging and being very independent and exploring in their own way, which we very much appreciate when they do their own thing. Take this blanket down. So Rudy is on the floor, then Nova, and then Miss B is right at the back. Oops. Having a little tumble.
We have Miss B, Rudy, and Nova.
You done now? Right. It could be my eyes for now, sorry about that. Glad to see you know where you come back to.
So on the rare occasion that we've got all 4 little ones together in Disneyland playing and having fun, I'm not too sure they're going to remember these occasions, because sometimes it is sad to separate them and see them all going on their different ways to basically different areas and different moms, and may not really ever see each other again. Although some of them will, so normally there's a pair that will actually be paired up again. But yeah, at least they're all having fun together, and it's nice for all the little ones to start learning and playing around. It's remarkable what these little ones can actually do at such a young age. I mean, you must remember they're only a few weeks old. These guys are already climbing and clambering around these trees without any problems. They're very aware of themselves and can catch themselves if they're falling and things like this. It's really remarkable. And as I've even mentioned before, these are the real nice times that one's got when you're actually sitting in with these little ones, watching them, making sure everything's okay, and just seeing how they slowly develop and work their way around and clamber around, and slowly, as you see, they notice things in the area, sort of their eyes and brain becoming more aware of their surroundings, which is always a good thing, because as we say, they're going to be moving to find bombs, so they do need to know what's going on there, and they're doing extremely well at the moment. A little bit of a rainy day, so everybody's back in Disneyland, and nothing like having a nice bottle of milk to keep you going. So little Nova and Rudy testing out the feeding cage, which is great. Everybody else huddled up a little because it's kind of a break in the hot weather that we're having. So nice to get a bit of relief with some rain. Rudy has been feeling a little bit under the weather and has come up with diarrhea and a few other things. So having a little bit of carrot juice at the moment and getting a few extra supplements just to see if we can get him back on track. Although he's looking pretty bright here at the moment, he's not feeling as 100% as he should. Everyone awake again after the little nap, and of course jumping around and playing, really enjoying each other's company. So it's good, because this is of course where they also learn their ranking. They'll start practicing this from now, depending on how they pick on each other, who gives in first, and all that type of little stuff. All of this is going on with these little guys at the moment.
Nova and Rudy are moving to the Goliath inch cage today, which we're really excited about. It's where they'll be able to meet foster mummies through the fence, learn the feeding cage, and start learning their new area for the next 6 weeks. They'll be a little bit unsure, I think, when we get up there, just because it's a different area for them. They've been in Disneyland for the last couple of weeks now. But we are going to take them up. Obviously we'll be there with them and kind of see how they do and go from there. we're just on the move. So we're taking the babies from Disneyland to Goliath now. They're being carried by volunteers Alicia and Tarby. In here we have little Dasha and Teresa. We've just arrived at Goliath Inch Cage. So in here we have Arlo, who we are currently integrating, and these guys are going to go in here, which is our foster mum intro cage. So we've just set up the intro cage. We've got their food plate, their water, and also the milk is in the feeding cage. So now we're just going to open the blanket and see what they think. So Nova is asleep and Rudy is awake. So we're just going to open it and let them come out in their own time. We do have some monkeys at the fence. You want to come? Or are you going to stay with Nova, hey? So if he wants to stay in there, obviously if they're a little bit sleepy, then that's absolutely fine. They can just stay in and just come out on their own terms.
So of course this is always a big moment for these little ones. The whole environment is completely different. Naturally they haven't been in this cage. The cage has been redone, new soil and everything like this has been put down just to make sure it is nice and clean and hygienic for them. But of course for them it's a whole foreign place, so they sort of got to get used to it. And regardless of what people say, even though monkeys are kept in a little cage, it doesn't mean they want to jump out straight away. It's the safety factor that they feel, and of course they feel safe and secure where they are there, so they're only going to climb out once they get a little bit of their confidence, and they feel that, and they're not going to be so intimidated. And as you can see, once they find out it's okay, they're looking around and jumping around and doing what little monkeys should be doing.
You coming for cuddles? So at the door is Sophie. Sophie is 2 years old. So she was, I think, baby number 11 2 years ago. So she came in as an ex-pet. She was rescued from the SPCA. So it's great to have them here. We're also throwing some corn in just to see if we get any of the foster mums. We are looking at Ellie, Ema and Waffles as potential foster mums, and Maggie May. This is Claudette Marie. You can tell she has the little short tail. So it's really great to see her here. She is only 3, so we wouldn't be looking to her as a foster mum just yet. But next year she could definitely be a foster mum, but she is really great as a big sister to the babies. This is good, guys. Okay. Good boy. These are already doing really great. They are exploring, which is really good. They're not just clinging. Babies are 6 weeks old now, so it does mean they are ready to meet mums, but we will just have quite a few days in here, maybe up to a week, and just get them to be very confident with learning the feeding cage in here, just because it's a little different to the training feeding cage that they were learning on in Disneyland. And then it's time to meet mamas.
Rudy was just trying to pull the plant out of the ground. Miss B enjoying her milk bottle on night shift.
As we said, everybody comes in at the end of the day and looked after and fed and made sure they're safe.
We hope that she's going to be able to meet the Coco foster mum soon. Just trying to clear up her diarrhea, so she is on some antibiotics at the moment, which we hoped she wouldn't need, but it wasn't clearing up with other things that we've been trying for her. And she's on more probiotics as well, and all the good stuff for her tummy. The babies are in cages overnight, but they're always with somebody close by. And most of the time during the night they're asleep. They've either got teddy bears or they've got each other, and then they wake up for their milk feeds. Nova. Here's Rudy. Rudy, here's your one. Yeah, here's your one. No, they always want the same one. Rudy now feeds through the bars at night, whereas before he was just sucking Nova's ear. Now he's actually feeding through the bars, which is good. He is being trained on the feeding cage at the moment so that we can get him a foster mum as soon as we can. Once he's mastered the feeding cage and can drink from a bottle by himself and know where it is, then he'll be able to go with a foster mum, which is part of his rehabilitation progress. So all the babies are back in Disneyland, as you can see, all 4 of them with the volunteers, where they can keep a bit drier.
Hi guys, we're just doing a baby update today. We have everyone in Disneyland together because it was just raining outside and we didn't want these little guys to get poured on. So basically, usually we have Miss B right here and Chimmy. These two are in the Coco Troop intro cage together. They're getting a lot more comfortable. They're starting to interact with the moms through the fence more, especially Miss B being one who was a lot more clingy to humans prior to going to the intro cage. And Chimmy over here was not with humans for too long. So he is actually acting a lot better and interacting with the monkey moms quite nicely. And then we have Nova here. She is a super playful girl. She's put on some weight, which is great because that's going to help her when she goes out into the troop. You know, she might not be drinking milk right away through the cage because they're going to be out there with their moms and they're going to be getting used to things. And then we have Rudy, which is taking a little nap right here. He is with Nova still. They're normally in this enclosure together by themselves when it's not a rainy day like this, and they climb around and play, and soon they will be moving to the Goliath intro cage so that they can also work on meeting some monkey moms just like Miss B and Chimmy here. Another thing that we want to say is that they're doing a lot better health-wise. We ran into a couple of little issues, like Miss B, she was having some really watery stools but we found out it was a bacteria, and we are treating that now, so she's getting a lot better. Nova and Rudy kind of developed a little issue with some sniffles, nothing too crazy, but they had some sniffles and coughs. We've been nebulizing them, so they're doing a lot better now. They also had some soft stool, but it is starting to get better as well. Yeah, so that's the baby report. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.
This is Chimichouri and Miss B drinking milk from the intro cage.
Rudy and Nova are in the Goliath intro cage, just getting ready to meet their new foster mums, their monkey mums, and they're doing really great. They are climbing, they're using the feeding cage, they are nice and confident, so I'm sure we will be meeting mums over the next couple of days. Miss B and Chimichouri are actually meeting mums tomorrow, which is really, really exciting. And then once they've kind of settled in with their mums, it'll be these guys next. Rudy has just had a nice big drink in the feeding cage, and as you can see, he uses the holes perfectly, which is amazing. Both just having a drink of water. And then it looks like it's nap time now because they're both getting a bit clingy.
So of course Rudi and Nova settling in without a care in the world into the intro cage here in Goliath, really having a little bit of fun messing around, which is always great to see. the reason you should never get close to your friend when you're trying to escape danger. Well, this will never really happen in a real situation, because of course the little one would have got frightened and grabbed up by mom and looked after by mom and taken away. So totally different when you're looking for comfort in one of your fellow friends. Well, the confidence is certainly grown in these little ones. Hasn't been too many visitors, but it does take some time. We have had a few interested moms coming around to look at them, but in some ways it's also a nice thing. It gives them time to get used to everything, get used to what's going on, and not getting too scared, because as you saw earlier, when there was a little bit of a noise, it did cause a little bit of a problem. So it's nice to let them settle down a bit, see what's going around in their surroundings, see the other monkeys and things like that, which does help them a lot and build their confidence. And slowly they're getting there. They're doing okay at the moment. Be good to see them going to their little feeding cage soon, which gives us a little bit more confidence. But yes, we can't rush things at the moment. It's just good to let them do things in their own time, just discover and learn and sort of find out this is a kind of safe place for them. Josie's husband getting involved, just making sure all the little wires and everything are tied and out of the way for the little ones, especially if we're going to let moms and things like this in, just to make sure nobody hurts themselves. So it's very important that there's no wires or anything like this sticking out that can cause any danger or any injury to any of the monkeys when they come into the enclosure. you can kind of see the difference after they've been in here for a little while, how they start climbing up the trees that have been provided for them and things like this, climbing up higher, looking around at their surroundings and paying more attention to what's outside than what's inside, which is very, very important. But this is also because, just remember, they're developing every single day, learning all the time, and of course their sight and all of this type of things coming in a lot better, that they can start recognizing things. And so these little ones are doing very, very well, really nicely exploring, having a look at the other monkeys in the area, especially the bandits that sometimes come around and say hello. But so long they've got a nice confidence, they're not being scared or anything, but only time will tell once the moms start coming in.
Grab them. No, grab them.
Hello.
So these two are also forming a nice little bond with each other, which is also great. At least they'll be friends when they go out. Be interesting to see which foster mom picks which one once the moms come in, and how they handle it. And if they are going to go to the foster moms and not just cling on to themselves, because of course if that happens, we've got to separate them. And it's always nice to have two of them together, basically going out as friends, that they got somebody to play with and on the same level once they go out into the main enclosure. So always good to see. Only time will tell, but at the moment they are doing very, very well, except for clinging on to each other every now and again. But as I say, that's more like a security thing, just because they feel safe in each other's arms. They don't have a mom basically to hug them, and we have to be careful in this transition phase that we're not always there doing it. On the other hand, Chimichouri and Miss B are doing remarkably well. As you can see, both of them here in the feeding cage drinking. This is what we love to see, very, very important. So their progress is coming on very, very nicely. They are up first for getting moms in, so this should really be good. They are in and out of the little holes. You can see the feeding cage holes here that they're going in and out, so they are managing to do that okay, finding where their milk is, so that's fantastic from our point of view. Just notice the difference in confidence here, getting closer to the adults, not really getting too scared of them. The adults also playing a very good role. They're not stretching out or doing anything to frighten the little ones, which is very, very good. That normally shows a very good sign of a good foster mom. So they are coming close and having a look, but not doing anything to scare the little ones or frighten them at the moment. So very, very positive on both sides. So of course these are some of those special moments that we always look out for, basically where there's contact with the troop and the little one, and of course the interaction and interest between the moms and the little one, just to see how things go. And as you see, the little one's not scared at all, a lot of confidence there, mom's behaving very, very nicely, trying to touch and see what's going on. So so far things are really, really going well. He's got a little bit of food stuck in one of his pouches and just trying to get it out.
Oh, do you need some help?
Well, there's always time for play and time for socializing, and the little ones are back to playing with each other. Couple of moms sitting out there very interested, which is very good. And so another day that's going very, very nicely for these two little ones. A lot of time for the little ones is just spent observing and watching how they interact with the others and how the adults interact with the little ones, which is very important. And these are these nice little moments. You see this little one going over there. I think this is Miss B, basically having a look at a potential mom's foot and things like this. Just I'm sure it would happen with a normal human, with a little baby being so interested in their mother. And this is the same kind of thing until, of course, it gives a little bit of a bite, and then we might see a little bit of a reaction. But look how patient Mom is, and just letting the little one get away with things, not scaring it or anything like that, not making any fast moves, and, of course, enticing the interest of another little one to come over and have a look and see what's going on. So sometimes it's just nice to spend quiet time just watching how things are going with these little guys. Of course, playing in the feeding cage for us is always the highlight again, and just nice to see that they are going in without any coaxing or anything like this, even just to explore. So it's not even really a thing to go in to drink milk. It's also a safety feature. So, you know, sometimes out in the closure they might get scared of something or for some reason. They also know they can climb in there and they are protected. And we probably see a lot more of that once the moms are in the cage. Sometimes when they're frightened of the mom, for some reason or other, they climb into the feeding cage because they know nobody can actually get them there.
Miss B and Chimmy are meeting monkey moms tomorrow. We are so excited for them. They're climbing all over the place in Coco, chasing bugs around. They're just doing great in here, interacting with the troop through the fence. So we're very excited for them. And we will be seeing you guys tomorrow.
Well, a lot of beautiful footage in this episode with some very nice close-ups of the little ones as they're getting used to foster moms. So of course this was just the interim phase, basically where they go out there and start meeting moms. We thought the season was going to be a little bit quieter this year because it's taken a while for little ones to come in, but it's certainly stepping up with a lot more arriving very, very quickly, making it difficult to keep up with the episodes. It's also very difficult to try and keep everything in line as things happening, because I've got more than one thing going on one time. Some monkeys are being integrated, some monkeys are just coming into Neverland, some monkeys have got on special treatments and things like this, making it very difficult to make sure I try and get everything in order. But thanks for everybody for understanding. I hope you're enjoying these episodes, and the little ones, as they find their new moms and get a second chance in life. Thank you everybody out there for your continued support, always helping us, backing us up, even the people making comments. When people say some weird stuff, you're giving the right answers. Really nice to see that we've got such fantastic support and everybody out there. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next episode.